right. I think we're about ready to get going here, folks. Thanks for hanging out, short delay. I'm happy to be joined again by Bryce Rabideau on guitar and mandolin, and he's threatening to sing a couple of tunes, so watch out. Also got a little help on technology today from Ben Shannon. So we'll either be really good or we'll still be in experimental mode. You'll be the first to know. Anyway, I'm gonna get started with a song from the new album called Hey Baby, about forgiveness, I think. 3, 4. Sitting at the window, looking for the light. Saw my baby coming home, she didn't look right. I said, hey baby, why you look so glum? She said, I'm sick and tired of you sucking your thumb. That hit the soft spot right where it pains. It's the same old puddle whenever it rains. I said, hey baby, you know what I think. Hey baby, let's go get a drink. She'd heard it all before. Sometimes she likes the sound, but later in the evening when it all falls down, she gets a bit short on that merciful G. She starts to speak the truth, if you know what I mean. Then it's too late to run, it's too late to hide. There's no drunken sailor can hold back that tide. I said, hey baby, what you say is right. I'll be a good man someday, just not tonight. I'll be a good man someday, just not tonight. Came a time we drifted on two separate ways. She couldn't understand my business, and I didn't know what to say. She went down to Tucson to feel those desert breezes blow. Met up with some sweet cowboy, the rest I'll never know. And one day at the window, I was looking for the sun. Saw my baby coming home, she looked like the one. She said, hey baby, I won't be your slave, but you know baby, I think there's something we can say. You know baby, I think there's something we can say. As the sun went down, I swear I saw a rainbow. I said, hey baby, I think I've seen the light. Hey baby, let's start tonight. Hey baby, I think I've seen the light. Come on baby, let's start tonight. Hey baby. All right, this next one is, it's called A Heart and Razor Wire. It's written about Vietnam, which is really my generation's war. And it's told from the point of view of a Wisconsin farm boy, from the point of view from the moment where the draft lottery turned up his number. And the story carries on from there. A heart and razor wire. Life was sweet in Crawford County, though we worked from sun to sun. All my brothers, they were hunters, but I never shot a gun. On the day they drew my number, I went out behind the shed, and I cried like some little baby, thinking I would soon be dead. We were bussed up to Milwaukee, our draft notice in our hand, to find out who would get lucky and escape from Vietnam. Farm boys had no doctor's letters, had no deferments, told got back to farmland, we were whispering our goodbyes. And the first time I heard the mortars and saw the gunships flashing fire, a white terror took my breath away and wrapped my heart in razor wire, razor wire, razor wire. We fought in the jungle, on the delta, in the rice. The land was never our land, and yet we paid the price. The brothers from the ghettos, from the factories and sometimes died in bunches, sometimes in each other's arms. And every time I heard the mortars and saw the gunships flashing fire, that same terror took my breath away and wrapped my heart in razor wire, razor wire, razor wire. When I came back to Crawford County, no one would look me in the eye. Janie took me out of pity, she would hold me when I'd cry. The cocaine made me jumpy, the junkie made me. I lost my place, I lost my grace, and I slept out in the yard. I still heard the mortars, saw the gunships flashing fire, and that same terror took my breath away and wrapped my heart in razor wire, razor wire, razor wire. Janie says that she still loves me, but she can't do this no more. The only sound that's worse than gunshots is when she finally slammed the door. Now I go down to the Legion, perhaps the ribbon and the shot. We talk about the hard times, that's what's left, it's all I've got. And I still hear the Okay. So, at Heart and Razor Wire, I actually wrote that song in a workshop with Jonathan Bird, who some of you may know. Fine songwriter. And there were some fun people there, too. All right, so I'm going to do now a song that's inspired by the Celtic music of the Gaspésian Peninsula in Quebec. And there was, back in the day, a lot of immigration from Brittany and Normandy, which have strong Celtic traditions, as well as the Scots and Irish. And so there's a lot of that kind of music that goes on up there. This one I basically wrote a fiddle tune and then wove a little story in English and a little story in French into it. And came up with this. It's called A Morning in Gaspé, Un matin au Gaspé. 1, 2, 3, 4. The mist rolls in across the bay, the gannets reel and spill. The waves climb swiftly up the rocks and then go back again. Time was once that now is gone, but song was all around. Now we huddle in our huts and tremble at the sound. Ma belle copine, elle est partie, et mon enfant avec. Elle fait penser au noir corbeau, mon pauvre cœur au bec. Mais je pleure pas, je suis content d'avoir sauvé mes couilles. Au lieu de me les arracher, elle me les laisse enrouiller. In this time, the time has come to render what we owe. Come sing with me among the leaves before we taste the snow. So rosin up your fiddle bow, the hour it is to dance. We'll play the songs our fathers knew on the far coast of France. La belle n'est pas au bois dormant, elle est dans la ville. Elle m'oublie dans mon tourment, qui me laisse pas tranquille. Mais il viendra un bon matin, dans ce perdu Gaspé, où je vivrai simplement comme un nouveau-né. All right, we can play for dances now. Nothing to it. Actually, I would have to get my sister and her partner involved. They do play for dances out in Lexington, Kentucky. All right, so now we're going to move on to a brand new song, and this one has a rather lengthy backstory, which I'm going to spare most of it to you. But it's called Luanda Bay, Luanda being the capital of Angola, which is a country in southern Africa. When I was living in Portugal, it was still a colony. It was one of the last colonies. And the song draws on history, both personal and larger. And those of you who have traveled in former colonial areas and have done any reading, you know how tricky and twisted this all gets. So Luanda Bay. We sat in the warm wind, splashed in the waves, far from the motors and the baobabs rain. A slow Texas accent in an office above, making sure that no rebels bomb pipelines. The young men had gathered in darkness to plot. They were strong in both body and mind. The wheel of history had stopped on the red. How could it not be their time? The breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda gave you hope that the war wouldn't last. The breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda made you shiver in paradise and want to move fast. You want to move fast. Took over in Lisbon, they had to let Angola go. The CIA stepped in and funded Savimbi so quickly that you'd never know. What had looked like a sunrise had started to dim and turn into a restless refrain. The arms came in bundles and the tribes and the proxies started shooting lights out again. The breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda, the world wouldn't last. The breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda made you shiver in paradise and want to move fast, and want to move fast. South Africans left to go home. The breeze blew all hope out the door. Rwanda was broken, the villages burned, and no one to stand for the poor. Now old soldiers sit begging on corners, with arms and legs lost to the mines. They ask passers-by for bread and for justice, though just bread for now would be fine. Breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda blows the trash along the marginal. Breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda blows for some, but never for all, never for all. Sit in the warm wind and splash in the waves, far from the villages where the baobabs rain. A slow Texas accent in an office above, making sure that no rebels bomb pipelines. A breeze through the palms on the Bay of Rwanda sings a song of the Mercedes-Benz. A breeze through the palms on the Bay makes you wonder if this ever ends, if this ever ends, if this ever ends. All right, Bay of Luanda, which is a beautiful place, as you can imagine. But some hard times. All right, so we're going to go back to a song from Suburban Two-Step. which when I wrote it, I thought, well, this is an odd little song. I'll probably never play this thing, and I've played it hundreds of times. It's called The Numbers, which sounds like it's about counting, but it's more about the damage we do to our own and other people's hearts, the wear and tear. The numbers. 2, 3, 4. Two homecoming tree, 3 Midwestern debutantes who weren't quite what they seemed. For across the water took me for a ride. One who knew the answer never left my side. I count the numbers one by one. Of the blood of my father and all those close beside. 5 true believers, 6 already gone, 10 in foreign cities and others close to home. I count the numbers one by one, love by love. Till I'm done, until I'm done. Yes, it really matters. This trail of washed and found, each trail with faces in my heart, like footprints across the ground, across the ground. On the corner, 50 on their feet, hundreds bright as shooting stars, 1,000 marching in the street, millions of the innocent, legions of the poor, thousands more won't be back, victims of our wars. I count the numbers one by one, love by love. I count the numbers one by one, love by love. Till I'm short commercial interruption. I think you can see a donate link. It'll be up there. Donate. It's paypal.me / Christopher Mark Jones. And if you'd like to contribute to the fiscal understanding of this undertaking, that would be great. And if you do donate and leave an address, I will mail you out a copy of Looking for the Light, which is the new album. It came out in the spring with a great crash. I mean, there was not a lot going on in April, but it actually did quite well on the folk radio charts and so forth. So, and I'm very happy with the recording. And we're going to play another recording from that record right now, as soon as I get tuned up. So this is a song called If I Were a Miner. And I remember the original impetus probably came from feeling like, I mean, we are a nation divided, but we have lots in common still. And I started off to try to find some common things. If I were a miner. If I were a miner, I would work in the night, see sunshine on Sundays, I'd be pale as moonlight. If I were a miner, I would be union bound to bring up the black gold from under the ground. But I am no miner, I take no union stands, I bring home no coal dust to wash from my hands. Though I am no miner, I work in the night, see sunshine on Sunday, and I'm pale as moonlight. If I were a soldier, I would try not to hate. I'd believe in our mission, that it's not too late. If I were a soldier, my mother's son, I would still follow orders and kill with my gun. But I am no soldier, I'm an army of one. I follow no orders and I carry no gun. No, I am no soldier, I try not to hate. I believe in my mission, that it's not too late. If I were a welder, I'd build great ships with fire, look straight into starlight and trace with a wire. If I were a welder, I would long for the dark, dream of hunting and walleyes and the song of the lark. But I am no welder, no wielder of flame. of hunting and walleyes and the song of the lark. If I were a farmer, I would rise with the sun, breathe wheat dust and diesel, and I'd never be done. If I were a farmer, I would stand in my field and dream of the harvest to conjure my yield. But I am no farmer, my hands break no word. There is no root nor blossom to establish my word. Though I am no farmer, I stand in my field and dream of a harvest that the future may yield. If I were a writer, I would sit in the park and wait for a moonbeam to splinter the dark. If I were a writer, I would offer my time to the cities of danger and the nations of rhyme. But I am a writer, my pen is my knife. I cut to the bone and I surrender my life. Yes, I am a writer and I farm fighting mine. I weld my convictions to each bloody line. Yes, I am a writer and I farm fighting mine. Weld my convictions to each bloody line. Okay. So, now we're going to get back to a little bit. Oh, gee, I'm not sure which song, which album this is on, but it's about cars. I've got a few about cars. And the cars continue to be a big part of American life. And whenever we're talking about, like, we're going to do away with cars now, you look around at our neighborhoods and our cities and our freeways and our parking lots, and you think, I wonder how exactly that's going to happen. Doing away with drivers, I'm not in favor of. Doing away with cars would be great if we could all had electric buses, but. All right, so, but this one is about, it was really inspired by a guy that I knew in high school who basically drove the circuit most nights. He had a big Oldsmobile, powerful car. Pretty much don't see him on the road anymore. They're trucks. It's called driving. Driving on, keep on driving, thought of my working day, got the working day blues. Got in my car, heard the big engines roar. Remember that driving is what I'm working for. So I keep on driving, keep driving on, keep on driving till the road is gone. Got no one to guide me, no one to guide me. So I keep on driving, keep driving on. I hated high school, wanted to party and drive. Took the first job going that would keep me alive. My Lisa likes riding, I pick her up at school. Her college friends can't believe it, they think I'm a fool. But I keep on driving, keep driving on, keep on driving till the road is gone. You can get lost in the headlights. Keep on driving, keep driving on. I came home last Monday, I drove around the block. I walked up the steps, put my key in the lock. The house was in darkness, a note on the door. Now I got nothing to be coming home for. But I keep on driving, keep driving on, keep on driving till the road is gone. Got no one to love me, she thinks she's above me. But I keep on driving, keep driving on, keep on driving, keep driving on, keep on driving, keep driving on. All right. Bryce Rabideau rocking it up on the Mando. Good stuff.
I think this is the most instrument switches I've had on a gig in a long time. It's good. Keep me on my toes here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I paid that close attention, clearly, but you're doing well. You're doing well. All right, so we're gonna go move along to a song that hasn't been recorded yet, at least in any formal way. There we go. And it's a song, it's kind of, I guess, if Hey Baby is the forgiveness song, this is the anti-forgiveness song. This is like, okay, I've made too many concessions. That's it. Anymore is the name of the song. One, two, three. I don't want to be here when you come knocking in the rain. I don't want to be here when you try to explain. Say you're cold and lonely, but I can't hear that refrain anymore. I don't want to be here to help you pay your bills. I don't want to be here to wipe up all your spills. Say you've turned a corner, but I just don't feel the thrill anymore. see it in your eyes anymore. How can I miss you if you won't go away? Why should I kiss you if you don't ever stay anymore? Anymore. You believe in bright tomorrow, I sure don't see how. If there has to be an ending, let it be I don't want to be here to hear you talk about romance. I don't want to be here when you ask for one more chance. I know the music, but I don't want to dance anymore. How can I miss you if you won't go away? How should I kiss you if you don't ever say anymore? Anymore. Anymore. Try to be positive sometimes. Okay, now we're going to move on to another song in French. Well, the other song was only half in French. This one's altogether in French. And it's the city that I know second best now, and I'm not always sure that I actually know Pittsburgh that well. I still get lost a lot, to my shame. And in Montreal, I don't get lost that much. Maybe it's just because it's laid out a little flatter, and yeah. Anyway, this is about Montreal, and it's about an early Montreal, right around the time of the Industrial Revolution, and when the farm boys came to town and had a hard time with it. And dislocation, and there's, in the song, there's also death in childbirth, alcoholism. It's a nice, happy song called Dans la Ville. Three, four. Je suis venu dans la ville, il n'y avait plus rien à la campagne. J'ai tant perdu, il fallait bien que je gagne quelques maudites pièces pour chauffer mes fesses dans la ville. Ma pauvre mère est morte à son 10e enfant. On n'est pas plus heureux d'être des vivants dans cette basse misère qui écrase même la prière dans la ville. Dans la ville, j'ai même pas eu le temps de pleurer ma vieille sont tous partis, partis pour les États. J'ai plus rien entendu, ils m'écrivent pas, ils savent non plus jamais. J'ai perdu ma petite dans la ville, dans la ville. Faudrait d'abord que je m'endorme avant de penser au réveil. Peut-être encore du bonheur au fond de cette bouteille. Je vis dans la ville, y a plus rien à la campagne. J'ai tant et tant perdu. Il fallait bien que je gagne quelques maudites pièces pour chauffer mes fesses dans la ville, dans la ville, dans la ville. All right. That is one thing about this, our streaming situation here is when Bryce plays a really nice solo and I really want to stop and go, yeah. And where, you know, you out there in Cyberland may well be clapping your hands. But we'll get back to that. All right, so once again, we're going to be finishing up with this next song. If you haven't made a donation, feel free. And remember to leave an address if you're interested in the new record. The last one is The Trapper's Wife, which is an older song now. And it's based on a hitchhiking occurrence. At least the first verse is. After that, it goes a little bit off the rails. Here, let me have some Jack Daniels, otherwise known as H2O. The Trapper's Wife. 3, 4. She pulled right over and picked me up, asked me where you going tonight. I said I might make it to Black Earth if the wind keeps blowing just right. She said that's nice, but I turn off at the top of the next rise. If you want, you can stay the night. There's no need to act surprised. My house is a little worse for wear. There's traps and snowshoes piled up everywhere. Used to have a man to share my bed, but it's been 7 long years now. He's been dead. I said, all right, it's getting on dark. The trucks don't stop up here. I could use a bite to eat and some Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. She said, don't get happy. Your bed is a pile of skins. Last week's stew is almost gone and the moonshine is running thin. My head is a little worse for wear. These dusty memories tucked in everywhere. Used to have a man to share my bed. There's a broken years now. He's been dead. We pulled in at the Texaco. She came out with the Pabst, stacked it up on the Muskrat Heights between the gas can in the bag. She said, heat some water on the wood stove. You don't smell that good. In the dark we didn't talk much. We just did what we could. The morning come, she drove me down to the highway, dropped me at the roadside, said, I'm Jolene, not that it matters. What matters is what's inside. My heart is a little worse for wear. All these old love songs tangled everywhere. Used to have a man share my bed. Now there's a new song playing in my house, in my heart, and in my head. There's a new song playing in my house, in my heart, and in my head. All right, Trapper's Wife. I'd like to thank Bryce. Yay, Bryce. Beautiful stuff. And Bryce, you could see him. Who you couldn't see was Ben Shannon, who is actually back there being our technical guru. And I'd like to thank Ben. That was, I'm and also very grateful to all of you for listening. And feel free to subscribe, leave comments, like, share, all those sorts of things that we do in this space. And we will see you the next time down the road. And hopefully we'll be able to get Ben on the other side of the cameras too and do something like this. In the meantime, thanks again to everybody, and good night, Irene, and the rest of you.